So if you ask anyone who ever got Leica in their life, they will probably tell you that they will never forget the moment they got their first one. In fact, in many cases, it is also because it was the only one. There's definitely something special, and in my case, it wasn't any different. Recently, I sold all my Fuji gear, well, almost, to get into the Leica system. How was it like, and what is actually my first Leica camera in today's episode. Yo, what's up? My name is Sergio, and recently I was lucky enough to get my very own Leica. But before talking about the camera itself, I must take a moment to explain why did I choose Leica in the first place. First of all, like someone mentioned in the comments before, Fuji is like a gateway to Leica. And there's definitely some truth to this theory. If you own any rangefinder style Fujis and enjoy using them, there's almost a certain chance you'll be interested in Leica as well. In all the modern craze of continuous developments and technological advancements, it's hard to overlook the M11 system that's been there for ages. Something that was invented a long time ago and is still holding up strong, and obviously it ain't magic, it's just something timeless that stands behind Leica brand and their cameras, and to be completely honest, it's like a breath of fresh air to me. The M-mount is also a big advantage. I mean, you have a huge variety of lenses and accessories for any film or digital M-mount cameras. And lastly, it's not a secret that Leica capitalizes on people like you and me who enjoy being part of something bigger than them, and it is especially true with the brand like Leica and the history that it represents. I find that Leica community so far is more chill and less toxic than others, besides a small amount of gatekeepers. Actually, Leica does a pretty good job in introducing you to the Leica world and its community. Right ahead, you get invited to all the local groups and discussions on social media, you get free issues of LFI magazine, and they will make sure you open your profile in a Leica club. Now, talking about the camera that I chose, it's a new and shiny M11. Yes, at the beginning I was leaning more towards getting M10P or M10 monochrome, but I got a great deal on this M11. As far as the deal goes in the Leica world. And besides that, long ago in my Fuji X Pro 3 video, I talked about some of the complaints that I have with the M10 series, and surprisingly, almost all of them were fixed in M11. This video is not about M11 per se, and I'm sure you all know the specs by now. I'll just sum it up by saying that besides being mechanically great, M11 is more modern technically. And by modern, I mean up to date. We have now things like USB charging, UHS 2 card slot, and stuff like this. The most convincing part for me though is about the weight and size of the system. You see, I chose black M11 even though I like silver more on purpose, because this body itself is lighter than the APS-C Fuji X-T5 that I sold. I'm not even talking about full-frame counterparts, same goes for lenses. The lens I have here is 28mm f2.8 spherical, and it is as light as Fuji crowns, and physically it's even smaller. Yes, sure, it doesn't have autofocus, but I don't need that. Packing some great full-frame glass into APS-C size lens is a bonus for me. I've already spent some time with my M11. I had a road trip across Europe, and I cannot be happier. The build quality and materials everybody talks about, it's not just empty talks. You can feel the quality right from the moment you pick up the camera. Now, is it worth the price tag? No, but they can charge it because no one else does anything even remotely close to it. The rangefinder system gives you a completely different process and a whole new set of challenges and skills to work on. This is something that I needed, and I cannot stress enough how much I enjoy the actual process of taking a photograph with a Leica. There's something about rangefinder that will outlive any digital stuff that's on the market. This is my dad's old rangefinder manual camera, and even though it's much older, it still operates pretty much the same way I use Leica, and I can even use the same lens. I can slap it on my M11 and take pictures with the same lens that was produced years ago, decades ago. Besides Leica, none other offer the true rangefinder in a digital camera besides maybe the old forgotten Epson RD1 and those gimmicky Pixie cameras. The bottom line is I'm genuinely excited about finally getting my first Leica, and yes, it cost me a fortune, and I don't think that it's reasonable by any means. Of course, it won't make my photography better, it won't make me better. Nevertheless, it makes me happy. And if something makes you happy, that's the only thing that matters. And yeah, no one really needs a Leica if you ask me. But you know what? No one needs ice cream either. I really don't care what others might say. I'm just glad it happened to me, even though I'm gonna have to learn to live with a single kidney.